Hello guys, in this video I am going to explain you how to measure the distance of object with the help of ultrasonic distance sensor using Arduino. Fine. So in one of my video I have explained the basic principle of ultrasonic distance sensor, how actually it works. In this video I'll be explaining you the Arduino code and the hardware circuit for it, okay, so that you can measure the distance. Obviously I'm going to print the distance on the serial monitor itself, okay. So that is on the screen of computer itself that I'll be showing you the distances. So you can print that particular distance on the LCD as well, okay, but the code will be what you can see, we have to have the LCD and all those things. So here I'm just go for the simple thing. I'll show you the distance on the screen itself, okay. Fine. So as before going to this particular video, you first go through the video of principle of ultrasonic distance sensor. Then and only this video will be very clear for you to understand the things, or the what you can say, the commands given over here. Fine. So before starting, I'll initialize something like I will assign the few pins to the trigger pin of ultrasonic distance. Then I'll be giving the what you can say, the echo pin of the ultrasonic sensor, okay, which I'll be going to connect to the Arduino, and I'll assign some variables for those as well. So to save the values, to record the values, it will be better. So what I'm going to do, I'll use one by one the variables, okay. So I'm using the first variable as constant int variable, and which will be for the trigger pin. I'll be writing trig pin, okay, and I'm assigning this particular pin as pin number 10 of Arduino, okay. I'll be assigning this particular pin to the rather I'll connect the trigger pin of the the ultrasonic sensor to the pin number 10 of Arduino. Fine. Then I'll be using the constant int echo pin, okay, and I'll connect this pin to the pin number 11 of Arduino, okay. Then I'll be using variables over here. Obviously I need to use two variables. As I explained the what you can say, the principle, we are calculating the distance based on the time traveled, okay, and for that I need to have two variables. One is for the travel time and other is for the distance which is to be printed. Fine. So I'll be using the first variable, that is int travel time, to measure the travel time, okay. So travel time, and second one I am using the int distance, okay. These are the two variables I am using. So in all total there are four variables. Now you may have the question in your mind, that is what is const stands for. Basically whenever there is no change in the value of the sensor or any what you can say, the signal, then you can go with the const int, okay. Otherwise simply you can go int value, where int stands for the values or the integer value which will be changing, whereas const values which will not be changing. As our pin number 10 and 11, that is trigger pin and echo pin of the distance sensor, ultrasonic distance sensor, are the constant pins, okay. Their values are not going to get changed, so I am using the const over here, okay. That is the explanation for const over here. Fine. Okay, the next one, I'll be assigning the pins over here, rather I'll assign the define the pin modes over here, okay. So I'll be writing the pin mode, okay, pin mode. Now pin number 10, okay. Now I am writing the pin number 10, that is nothing but the trig pin in my case. So the trig pin will become the output in my case, because from the trigger pin I am going to send the signal, okay. I am going to send the ultrasonic waves, okay, and that's why it becomes the output pin. At the same time, the pin number 11, which is nothing but the pin echo pin, that will become the input pin. That will become the input pin, as it is going to receive the ultrasonic waves, okay. So these are the two pin modes I'm going to set. And very importantly, as I'm going to print this particular values on the serial monitor, I will be what you can say, I'll set the baud rate of the serial communication with the help of serial dot begin, okay, and I'll give the baud rate as 9600, okay. That is the baud rate with which the communication will have. Then I'll go to the while loop, okay. In the while loop, what I'm going to do, it's very simple. I'll first send the signal from the ultrasonic distance sensor with the help of trigger pin. then that particular signal will be striking on the object, and that particular signal will be received by the receiver or nothing but the echo pin. And I'll be calculating the total time. I'll record the total time, rather, instead of calculation. I'll record the total time required for traveling this particular what you can say, the acoustic wave or the sound wave from trigger pin to echo pin. And based on that particular travel time, I am going to calculate the distance. So that is how I am going to do the entire thing over here. Fine. So here you can have this particular command. First, what I'll do, I will make this trigger pin as the low. It will not send any value. So I'll write the command like digital write, then I will have the pin number 10, that is the trigger pin. Okay, trig pin, and I'll make it as the low because I don't want to say, I just want to what you can say, get this particular pin to the initial state. Okay, low state. Then I'll wait for, let's say, 100 milliseconds. Okay, for a short time I'll be, sorry, delay, I'll have the open close bracket. I'll be waiting for, let's say, 100 milliseconds. Okay, then now I will make the trigger pin high. Okay, I'll make the trigger pin high. I'll just copy this particular entire code as it is. Okay, because again I'll be making that particular pin high for some delay time. So I'll be making this trigger pin high over here. Instead of low, I'll go for high. And I will now, in this case, I'll make this particular pin high for, let's say, 500 milliseconds. Fine. Now, once the signal is sent, the wave is sent from the trigger pin, I'll make the trigger pin again low. Okay, I'll make the trigger pin again low. So I'll have the command like digital write trig pin low. Okay, that is what you have sent the signal now. Okay, you have sent the signal. The next command has to be like, I need to record the travel time. Okay, how much time that particular wave has taken to travel from, say, what you can say, the trigger pin to the echo pin. So I'll be having the integer. Already we have defined that integer at the top, that is travel time. Okay, that is the integer, which is the value has to be equal to, the command is like pulse in, okay, where I is capital, pulse in echo pin high. So it is nothing but what time is required to become the echo pin high, that time you record with the help of the command like pulse in. Okay, with the command like pulse in. Okay, so this is what the travel time you can get it, and from the travel time now you can calculate the distance. So I can write the variable as distance, which is equal to, we have already seen the formula for this distance in the previous video. You refer the previous video, that is for the what you can say, for calculation or the basic principle of ultrasonic distance sensor. So distance will be equal to the travel time. Okay, travel time into the sound velocity. Now here the sound velocity is 340 meter per second. So to take the care of this particular travel time unit, I am putting this particular value as 0.034, as we know that 340 is the sound velocity. Okay, so the sound velocity, fine, I'll remove the space, 3.034 into the travel time, time. Okay, so we know that the velocity is distance upon time. The same equation is used over here. So 0.034 into travel time. Okay, now as I explained in the previous video, that the travel time is for the entire signal starting from trigger pin to the echo pin. However, the object is the halfway of this entire travel time. Okay, and hence we need to divide this particular entire travel time by 2. Okay, don't forget to divide it by 2, otherwise you'll get the wrong answer. Fine. So this is what now the echo pin has received the signal, and it has measured the distance. Now I supposed to just print this particular distance with the help of the command like serial.print. Okay, I'll be using ln as well, otherwise I will get the distance okay, without any enter over here, and I'll just mention the value which is to be printed is nothing but the distance, that value I supposed to print. Fine. So now what I'll do, I'll just compile the code. I will check whether the code is correct or not. So just go for compiling. Okay, click on the left top corner tick over here. Here you can see on the right bottom corner that sketch is getting compiled. Okay, we'll just wait for it will get compiled. Okay, fine. So the compiling is done. Now the next thing, that I will upload this particular code to the hardware, rather to the Arduino. But before that, I will go for the hardware circuit. I will show you how to make the hardware circuit, and then we will upload the code, and then we will see the values on the screen. Fine. Okay, thank you. We will just go for the hardware circuit. Okay.